Hey there, everybody. I am Henry.
And I am Brad, and we are here with our favorite question for the first time
In 2022, what's new Northside?
What is new Northside?
Man, season 2 of What's New Northside.
We are in the second year ever of us doing this little thing we call What's New Northside.
Right? It's super special.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
We never thought it would do as well as it did.
Absolutely not.
Somehow you guys like listening to us
right?
be goofs.
With that, our crazy laughs, right? Like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So we are in, like you said, the year 2022, and we know with any time we say Happy New Year, and I'm sure Pastor Robin will attest to this, we get into all these crazy New Year's resolutions.
Right? I'm going to read a book, which I never do. I always tell myself,
work out.
Right? We're like, I'll never do that.
I'm going to stop eating cookies because that's all I've done for the last month.
Like all this crazy stuff. But like at some part, I think there's like a little bit of heart behind like we want to actually like build ourselves, grow ourselves, and make ourselves into something new and continue to grow, right?
Yes, 100%.
And like I think there are multiple ways you can do that, and we would love to help you get it, even just kind of like get your feet wet in that, get your foot in the door kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because that is the purpose of the church.
Absolutely.
For us to continually be growing.
Yes.
And changing.
We should never stay stagnant, right?
No, because with Christ comes change.
Absolutely.
So we want to encourage you guys today as we enter into this new year to maybe step out into something that you've never done before.
Yeah.
And I think right off the bat we think about in-person services.
Yep.
And we know that there's a lot of you that are still fearful about doing that, and we don't not asking anyone to push through anything that they're not ready to do, but maybe if you haven't been back to an in-person service, maybe now's the time to try that.
Absolutely. And even I think the biggest thing is making that a habit, right? Like we know it's easy to start coming once and then, let's take a couple weeks break. Like I think the biggest thing is to be able to grow together as a church body. It's consistency.
Yes.
You know, and we would love to see you every week kind of thing too. And what else can they do there? And we know so much more.
So obviously, serving. We have needs all over Wadsworth and Medina every week. Not only have we been missing people from being here and being a part of services, we are missing people who are a part of serving.
Yes.
So maybe one of your New Year's resolutions is to maybe greet at that door for the first time, or help out with the babies for that first time. Or anything that we can think of that we can get you connected. And on our website, right at the top, real easy, right on the front page of northsideweb.org is what, Henry?
Serve. Big button right there. You just click and it takes you right to that form. And I think, I don't know, I just want, like, if I can speak to it personally just for a second even, like, what it means to me and what it meant as, like, a family for us to be able to get to be a part of the church. Like, it sounds corny and cheesy every time we talk about, let's serve together. Like, you don't understand, if you've never done it before, the impact that will have on your life. It's like God meant for that to happen, right? Like, it is very purposeful why I think God place that in Scripture and talk to the importance about being involved and being together as a church and serving one another.
Yes. You know? Scripture talks in Acts 2:42 about how they were together and they had everything in common.
Yeah.
And so they committed to these certain things. And while it doesn't specifically say serving, the fact that they were together and had everything in common so that no one lacked anything speaks to the idea of everyone serving one another. And that is a picture of what the church is supposed to be. So that form that Henry was talking about is really simple. It's really abstract. So it's not going to be on there and like, I want to teach second graders on the second hour. It's not that exact. It's merely just asking you, hey, what are some areas that you'd like to be a part of? And then it emails us, and that allows us to start that conversation.
Absolutely.
And for you guys to talk to whatever area you might be interested in serving.
Just to kind of break those barriers down for you and hopefully just to get you excited about serving, right?
Yes. And then the final thing is small groups.
Yeah.
This is something you can find on our website as well.
Yep.
There's actually a big logo right on the main page that says if you're interested in small groups, click here. It takes you to get more information and puts you into how to get in contact with Eric Pruitt, our discipleship pastor, to be a part of a small group. Henry, do you want to just talk a little bit about like what it means to be part of a small group and why that's an important
For sure,
thing?
absolutely. And I know both of us know a lot of the small group leaders personally there, but I think too that's kind of where you're able to let your guard down and I think really dig into Scripture together and kind of ask those hard questions because like, hey, we don't get to do that in service, but I think too being able to ask your like they feel like your brothers and sisters in Christ. Like we know we all are, but that small group is definitely your core, right? So being able to ask them those questions, those hard questions, you live life together, you do all these things, and again, that even it talks about that in Scripture too as the importance of small groups.
Yep. And our services here every Sunday, we're right around like 600 people, 600 to 700 people that are in here and around. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, you cannot know 600 or 700 people personally, right? Like,
but most of our small groups are, from a handful of couples and individuals to even like 10, 20 groups of families. So we really would love for you to get involved with that. I know that has been where I've learned and grown the most in my faith is in that small group environment, whether leading it or being a part of it.
And we have one for every stage of life too. Like I know I'm personally a high school small group leader, so you can get involved in that too, but we have even stuff for families, for people in their elderly ages too. Like
I lead a college age group for kids like 18 through like 23, 24 every week. I know there's like a young professionals group that meets on Tuesdays that is for those 20s and 30s somethings that are still, trying to find a community to belong to with the young professionals. Is an awesome group.
And I think you hit a good point too of it's not just Wednesdays or whatever. Each group has a different day that they meet on too. And you can find, like Brad said, all that on the website too, or you can even email us or Pastor Eric. We'll definitely be able to get you connected to one of those groups, and he knows those small group leaders personally.
Yes. So Henry, one last final big thing that we got coming down the pike.
Man, can we just get a drum roll? Medina!
Medina is going to be opening
Holy cow.
Our permanent Medina campus.
It feels like a weight is lifted off our shoulders.
We are no longer wandering in the wilderness. We are no longer in the park or on the square or in the admin building,
or whoever else knows,
which have all been awesome and great,
and a blessing.
We cannot say enough thank you, especially to the Medina County admin building, and to Gary.
Personally, he is a phenomenal man.
Who is just the best guy.
Absolutely.
Who helped us out there and was kind of our liaison to get in the space. We're actually going to miss working with him.
Right, absolutely.
But what a blessing it is to finally have a home. Who would have ever thought over 2 years ago when we went into the high school to start that within 2 years and the chaos that it's been, that the output would be God dropping a legitimate building into our life.
And I think too, like the blessing of the location, the blessing of where it's at, kind of smack dab in the midst of a couple communities we were able to reach to, like we mentioned before.
Because we are now closer to Brunswick, we're now closer to Strongsville, we're on that north end of Medina, which will allow our ministry opportunities out of an actual location that we can get into, not just Sunday, but every day of the week. To be able to serve. And so there's going to be a lot of exciting opportunities that we're going to do out of that location that we're going to be telling you guys about in the near future.
Absolutely. And that date, keep this in your prayers, it's going to be Sunday, February 13th. Super excited. Mark that on your calendars. I think you're going to want to be there to feel that energy. It's just going to be super special. Super special.
Yes, it will. And we cannot wait.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a great week.
Yeah, and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I don't know if we've said that this show.
No, we
talked about it. We never said Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Northside.
We'll see you soon.